think I'm going to turn it down. Chat, please let us know how the volume is as we proceed through. Can you say something again, Happy?
Hello, I'm Happy Puppy. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been participating in this tournament so much, and now I can finally see it from the other side of the glass.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. You've been doing a lot for the community, so thank you for joining me on such short
No
notice.
problem.
And I guess we'll just do it like usual. In terms of, I'll let the guest choose what faction they'd like to cover, and I'll take the other one. So, between
Okay,
Chaos and
there
Britonia,
is
what
no
you think?
question. There is no question. I'm going for Chaos, because they have the Phallic 1000, the Soul of Damnation, the Headcanon Arwa. So that's really based as a start. Then they are protected by a unit of Chosen with Halberd. They will be able to cut down any cav that trying to threaten that magnificent engine. You
Mm-hmm.
have two Chaos Marauders in the front line, followed by two Chaos Warriors with great weapon. Excellent choice. Chaos Warriors with great weapons will kill all infantry and also trade cost effect okay with cavalry if they are supported a bit. They are followed by two Chaos Troll with armor. 110 armors on these bad boys and they hit like trucks. Also really nice if you can avoid them getting routed too early. Two units of Marauders, Horsemen with throwing axes that are armor piercing. Collect Sun Eater, a Sun Eater as the leader of that little band of chaos creatures. He is a world beater, as everybody knows. And as a caster, you have Shadows with Miasma, Pit of Shade. Oh god, it's Pit of Shade. Pit of Shade is decent against Cav. You just don't see it that much. An Enfilling Foe.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, for the backline pressure, there is a single unit of hounds that will try to go after potential trebuchets or cavalry or archers once the cavalry is otherwise occupied.
Oh, gotta love those sneaky little warhounds, and I'm jealous. I have to say, I love that Chaos Army. So,
Yeah,
you
this is
share
a
my good
great chaos
taste.
army.
Yeah, no, I love seeing the armored trolls along with that ROR Hell Cannon. So we'll see what Romulan has in store, and then for our other player, Ace Combat, who I need to update his name right now because I forgot to do that in the scored card. So
What's his name these days? Is it Astolfo? Ace Combat? There is so many names.
I know. Yeah, he changes names all the time, and I can hardly keep track of him unless I get lucky. So I actually didn't even realize it was him until you pointed that out. But he's going to be bringing 5 peasant mob backed up by 4 peasant archers. It looks like those archers will have pox arrows between the 4 of them. My daughter just broke into my office, by the way, so you'll hear some
Hello.
goo goos and gagas behind. And for the cavalry in the back line, we're going to have 2 Knights of the Realm on the right flank with the Questing Knight. And I suspect a similar combination on the left flank. No, I lied. It's going to be 3 Questing Knights on the left flank. I love you so much. You just want to watch Chaos play, I know.
Aww.
We also have a Trebuchet, as you mentioned earlier, there to pressure the Chaos Infantry from afar. And then for the Hero Squad, pretty common picks here. Looks like we're going to be seeing the 2 Paladins. One with Guardian, one without. And then we do see the Fey Enchantress here with Favor of the Fae, Mist of the Lady, Shield of Thorns, Earthblood, and Arcane Conduit. I don't think I missed anything, so it looks like that rounds it out.
Yeah, I think we can finally let them fight.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because of my inability to join Discord like a normal person. They had to wait for way too long.
Yeah, my bad. I should have told them to get started once the voice chat was figured out. I forgot.
Yeah, we had time to look at that marvelous chaos army.
Indeed. In fact, let's just go look at it some more.
Astolfo is a good friend, but I have to root for RomulanDawg right here.
I mean, really, it's the style points. It's nothing personal. It's just he's chaos.
Exactly. Yeah, he is chaos, and not any chaos. It's not just another halberd box with some other horsemen around it. It's actually really nice organization of that army, and it looks pretty with those 3 lines. Oh no.
Yeah, no, the defensive depth. I like that he's deployed in a position to protect his front line because he has that small army. It doesn't have a ton of ground that he can cover and protect. So, yeah, I agree with you. The deployment's nice, and it's very much just complete opposite of what Britonia is going for here.
Yeah, and look at the ground being burned by the advance of that Slaneshi abomination. I mean, that's also a really nice touch.
Wait, where's the Slaneshi
However,
abomination?
I mean the Soul of Damnation.
Oh,
Given the way it
gotcha.
looks, I'm assuming it's Slanesh, but I may be wrong about it.
I don't think you're off there. It looks very Slaneshi with those undulating sacks. So, yeah.
Yes, it's pulsating, all right.
That's the word, pulsating sacks. My apologies. But here it goes, Hell Cannon opening fire, and I don't know about you, Happy, but I would definitely be shooting archers right now if the cav isn't available.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he was going for archers or the field trebuchet. However, he hit the field trebuchets and almost routed them instantly.
Yeah.
Is he going for? Yeah, no, he's going for the archers. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I mean, honestly, I'm curious to see how well it would do against the trebuchet. Like you say, almost routing it in one hit. Oh!
No, it was the trebuchet. Okay.
It destroyed a model as well, so down to 2 trebuchet models. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, I'm wondering why the trebuchets aren't shooting back, because they actually outrange the Soul of Damnation, so they should have been in range before the Soul of Damnation, whatever they wanted to shoot at.
Yeah, I'm with you. Unless the Chosen with great weapons were slightly behind it. Oh yeah, they were going for the Chosen with the great weapons on the far back line. I think that's it.
But they won't be. I think it's over for... Yeah, no more free trebuchet. Well, that was set 700 that were used to... I guess it was used to make sure the archers could advance without getting shot at too much.
Yeah, no, Chaos does want to turn their attention to the archers now. I don't know why they're still shooting the trebuchet. But fortunately, most of their infantry does have good enough armor to avoid a lot of that incoming archer damage.
Yep. Oh, will the throwing axemen get caught? Oh, some of them are getting caught. That one unit could take a lot of damage really quickly. And there isn't that much infantry support to help them if in case of damage. Yeah, now the support is coming. They should survive against the
Yeah.
invites.
And I do love this combination of infantry and armored Chaos Trolls. I think the great weapons, armor piercing, while normally I would say if you're bringing trolls, go cheap on the infantry, I think the Chaos Warriors with great weapons can do very well against Cav with that heavy armor piercing, but what do you think?
I think they definitely can. However, the nice play of Astolfo, I mean, I'm gonna call him Astolfo, that's how I know him, has been to focus the Marauders, because once the Marauders are gone, there really isn't that much support for the trolls, right? Only 2 other units of infantry can really join, and that's not much, and trolls need a lot of support on the ground if they don't want to rout too early.
Absolutely, especially when they're getting pumped with this many arrows. I mean, the armor is really helping at 110, but still.
Pit of Shades, how good will it?
It doesn't look like it was placed right where it needed to be, unfortunately. It's doing some damage, but negligible.
Yeah, but the Fae is getting pummeled though. She needs to be careful because, I mean, 1400 HP, that's what, 2 hits from... oh, no, she has some resistance, so a bit more than that. But she escapes for now. One of the trolls is routing, and I think the other might be 2. I only see 1 troll on the battlefield. Where even are they?
One is routing, right, you say? Yeah, so they're both routing. But I mean, Chaos still has the Chosen with great weapons. The Chaos Warhounds in the back line have completely done exactly what they meant to do. The Trebuchet is gone, and now they're eating all of the archers. So, without archers and a Trebuchet, I mean, what do the Bretonnians have to chew through these Chosen with halberds?
Cycle charging, and I think if the Fae, like if you can deal with collect, so the Fae can move a bit more freely. The Fae, I think the Fae Mortis Engine effect could be enough to actually go through them.
No, that's a very good point. You can never underestimate the ability of cycle charging and a Mortis-like effect of the Mist of the Lady.
Yeah. But right now, like, Astolfo is really trying to go after Kolek, and that makes sense, but that means that 2 units of questing are staying in combat, also to get on the Soul of Damnation, but 3 units of questing are now fighting against halbards, chosen with halbard no less. That could be really dangerous.
Yeah. And now the Fae Enchantress came back in. I mean, Kolek's leadership is wavering, but still don't think the Fae wants to be that close to him.
Yeah, however, good thing for the Bretonnian is the hounds are finally caught by some cav. So if they don't retreat right now, that might be... If they manage to get rid of the hounds, there is really nothing to threaten the few units of archers coming back.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll have to watch that engagement
Fae.
closely because you're right. Sorry, go ahead. What about the Fae? Oh!
Oh, it was really dangerous. Like, Kolek went really low, but he got a couple of really good hits on the Fae, and now
Oh, no!
he's going back there. Oh, no!
Oh, with
my
the charge
God.
bonus.
Oh, no.
Ah!
Don't do that, Fae. Oh, she's gonna survive. She's gonna survive barely.
Not if she chases him off the map. The map edge is not too far.
-49 leadership. Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah,
and also
shatter.
2 units of trolls are back. Oh god, yeah, that might be the end because that. I mean, the Soul of Damnation at least is dealt with, but Chosen with Halberd are still 56 out of their 60 models. I mean, even with Archer Fire, it's gonna take a while to choose through them.
Yeah, well, and also the great weapons. There's a unit of them that are still quite healthy. I mean, the balance of power is actually looking better for Bretonnia than it did a little earlier in the battle, but I don't know if I agree. I think they still have one healthy paladin in Quested Knight, so I guess I can't discount it because that paladin could kill 12 Sun Eater.
Yeah, if they break that good engagement that they have here, where they completely surround the trolls and collect and his chest up, maybe he's dead, but that's even better. I mean, that's still it's still anybody's game, but Chosen with Halberd are first to reckon with, and Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I mean, they will trade okay against Questing Knights, especially if there's Chosen supporting them. That won't be easy to bully them. And the Hounds are back, going once again after the Archers that are mostly out of ammunition anyway, but still.
Oh man. MVPs to these Warhounds right now. I'm sure their damage value is going to be pretty insane by the end of this.
I mean, 116 kills already.
Yeah.
And they are not done just yet. Yeah, these Questing Knights are gonna be. I have to retreat. Like, I think.
But the Warhounds aren't gonna let them.
Direction. Yep, and they're Warhounds with poison too, so.
Just dragging them down for the Chaos Infantry to win the day, and I think still anyone's game. I completely agree with you there, but I mean, the Bretonians are going to need to get something working here pretty quickly.
I mean, the balance of power is in their favor at this point, which, I mean, they have a healthy hero, so I think that advantages them, but I mean, I kind of disagree with the balance of power right now. Also, there is 2 dwarfs, 2 Chaos Dwarfs still in the battle, and they might make all the difference.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, too, it's like these Poison Warhounds, I guess if they rout, that'll be a big deal, but they're really hurting Bretonnia because every time they charge into this infantry, they get poisoned. But, yeah, it's starting to turn around now. Looks like Chaos may be close to breaking.
Yeah, that's always the issue with Chaos. I think Chaos could use the tiny buff to the leadership of some of their units, like Chosen and Chaos Warriors, because they have decent leadership, but it's not health level. I think they could have health level leadership and not be overpowered by any means.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even have immune to psychology either. I mean, I think Chosen units at the very least should get ITP. I mean, if Blackguard and Aggron have it, I don't see why Chosen wouldn't have it.
Will the Hounds be back? That's the question, because they could still be very useful, and I think they are going right now through the the Hounds will be back. Yep. Yeah, no, I think it's okay then I think it's okay. Like, the Chosen, as I said earlier, as we said, the cycle charging still punishes them when they're embraced, so...
Yeah. They're a very powerful unit, but they're a support unit. Like, if they're by themselves surrounded by cavalry, it's not going to work out if you're playing somebody who knows what they're doing. And as you can see, just really nice cycle charging, sending Peasant Mob in as the cavalry retreat, and rinse and repeat.
Yep, and some archers are even back. Oh, some Chaos Warriors with great weapons. 13 of them, that's not much, but that could help just limit the pressure a tiny bit. But yeah, I mean, it looked so good for Chaos for so long, and at the end, even with the Fed dead, I think Bretonnia is going to prevail.
Yeah. I do think Kolek, if he would have, I don't know, maybe played it a bit safer, a bit closer to the chest, he could have won that. I mean, they did kill the Fae, but the big problem for Chaos is Kolek died right afterwards. So, didn't really get a chance to capitalize.
I understand why he did it, and I probably would have done the time, but he wanted Kolek to stay close to the units of trolls, so the trolls could come back in the battle, but he actually lost both the trolls and Kolek trying to protect them, and it's the end. Oh.
But a great first game. I mean, Ace Combat or Sir Astolfo. I'm going to change it to Sir Astolfo right now, just for myself, too. That's who it is, right?
Yeah.
Or Okay.
I mean, it's Ace Combat, Iskander. He has many names.
So funny to me. Just why? Anyway,
But I think Astolfo is the name that goes that like it goes well with his personality. Let's just say so.
fair enough. I said Sir Astolfo instead of Stolfo. My apologies to him. But yeah, Warhounds. I'm curious. Okay, 1,000 points of damage dealt. Not too bad. The Soul of Damnation not quite making its money back. Kolek. Wow, 3,500 points of damage dealt.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think I like the fact that the Chaos Marauders were dealt with so quickly afterwards there was really not much to give numbers to the trolls. Like I mean 2 units of infantry to protect 2 trolls isn't enough to stop them from getting like rear charge, and if they get one rear charge debuff they are like on the verge of breaking.
that's I mean their major
So,
weakness obviously is they just horrible leadership. So if they get routing, they're in trouble.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, Archeon is way better with trolls, I agree. Viking.
oh yeah, in the chat. I mean, I'm also just I don't know if it's just me. What are your thoughts on Kolek as a lord? I mean, he does a ton of damage, and I guess right here it speaks for itself. He got his value back, but he just always feels a little bit squishy to me. I don't know why. It's probably just my imagination.
Yeah. I mean, what I think is like he's really good duelist, but he brings so little things to the table in terms of supporting his army that it can like sometimes you don't need any support for your army. But I think that in that case, having a lord that could like help a bit. Also, the caster got killed pretty early. But you know what? Given how close the battle was, maybe if that Pit of Shades was placed perfectly and one full unit of Questina was deleted at the beginning, that could have changed everything.
Absolutely. And that's why I love this game more than so many other games. It's just like those small factors. You're absolutely right. A good Pit of Shades could have won that game. It was that close. But
Exactly.
I do agree with you. It's just like and it's funny because RomulanDawg is my sensei for many years, has always been one giving me crap for making too small of armies and needing more marauders and chaff. And right here, I would say, like you pointed out, it's kind of a similar thing where maybe one less. I don't know. I mean, great weapons did well, but it's not like they necessarily completely paid for themselves. So I almost wish we would have seen just like dropping one of them or both of them and bringing more marauders. The chosen with halberds I'm fine with because as you can see it gets its value, and usually as long as you can keep them from getting shot to piece by a trebuchet or archers, which Romulan did very well in this match, they can get a lot of value. But I just think you need more numbers in this army.
Also, unpopular hot take maybe. But what do you think of using the Soul of Damnation to, instead of shooting at the archers, shooting at the questing knights? In that case,
It's a tough. Let me think how to describe, because that's a great question. And for me, it's very much a kind of it depends scenario. I would 9 times out of 10 shoot the archers, just because in my experience, peasant archers are the multiplying, like one of the main multiplying factors for Bretonnia as a combat power. Like when they have that nice concave of those cheap, horrible archers just firing in, it gets so much value. So I think I would target the archers. But with that being said, I've seen how much damage a Hell Cannon, also the Hell Cannon, I mean the Soul of Damnation in particular, can do against heavily armed cavalry. And if you can successfully eliminate them, it's a ton of value generated with each successful hit. But for me, it's just always going to come back to like, yeah, but if the other player is really good on micro, really good at battlefield positioning, you might just be wasting your time trying to shoot questing knights instead of archers.
true. Yeah. What I would have loved is actually 1 more units of hounds. I don't know what you cut to make it happen, but like because if you have 2 units of hounds, you get a bit more leeway to actually use your Soul of Damnation to shoot at a regular hell cannon for like you could if you scale back the Soul of Damnation to a regular hell cannon, that will do somehow like pretty much the same job. the archer line is a lot less scary because if you have two hounds, you can make sure that if you break a unit of archer, they don't come back, right?
Yeah.
Like with one hound, it will be hard to be everywhere, and you might want to be attacking the archers, not chasing the routing ones. So maybe one more hound could have been an option too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think downgrading the Soul of Damnation, regular Hell Cannon, that alone pretty much gets you an extra regular Warhound. Not the poison variant, I don't think. But yeah, completely agree. And that's a very good point you made, where essentially, like, if you have, I think in this army, you need to target the Peasant Bowman with the Hell Cannon because there's not a lot else to deal with the Peasant Bowman, like you were saying. But if you had two Warhounds here, then you're absolutely right. The Soul of Damnation could probably much more comfortably target questing knights and not have to worry about the archers because they know they got those Warhounds to take care of them. So, very good point.
Yeah.
But
And I think, like, I mean, it's a testament because, yes, like, Kolek is really good and he gets good value, but he died, like, somewhat late game. But, like, where the Fair Enchantress really shines is in late game situation, right? And she wasn't there, and Astolfo still won. So I think that, and I think, like, Astolfo was really careless with his fair like attack charging at the end. He actually charged Collect to the face in open field with no cavalry support,
yep.
and he still won the. I hate greenskins because it's a faction I really struggle with any factions. Like I just struggle against greenskins, so I can't root for them. So yeah.
Well,
Also, Skavens is Astolfo, or is it RomulanDawg? Because I need to root for Astolfo at some point. I can't keep being against him.
Greenskins is Astolfo. I'm sorry.
Oh no, well he's gonna hold it against me at some point.
I mean, why do you... So just because you have a hard time against them, is this as of, like, the Grom the Paunch patch where you had more problems with greenskins, or even before that you thought they were just difficult to deal with?
I feel like everything they do, they're... I mean, I understand, like, when people explain to me how to beat them, I understand theoretically, but then they have, like, hundreds of cheap skirmish cav that outrange my chaos cav, and then they are quick, they have poison everywhere, they're like fanatics that wreck my front line. You can't beat them in a front line fight because they are fanatic on the war. They have decent single entity monsters, they have great laws of magic, they have regenerating heroes, they have Grum the Punch. I mean, I don't know, they feel just overwhelming to me.
Well, in that case, do you want to cover the Skaven?
Yes, please.
All right, let's see what they got.
Okay, so for the Skavens, you have your usual front line of Skaven Slave and Skaven Slave Spears and Clan Red with Spears. So you have 5 units of Skaven Slaves, 1 with Spear, 3 units of Clan Red Spears with Shield to be a tiny bit. I mean, they are like the quote-unquote elite infantry of that build. Oh, I missed actually 1 unit of Skaven Slave Spear, 2 units of Skaven Slave Spears. So you had 8 or 7. Because 2 of them were protecting 1 unit of Black Claw Catapult, a unit you don't see that much. You have 2 units of Rat Ogres to bring some... 3 units of Rat Ogres, actually, to bring some mass to that army. One of them being the Pit Fighters of Hell Deep with the Berserk ability. I mean, the Berserk ability of the Norscan Berserk. It's a good ability. They have a lot of staying power. Really solid unit. You have 1 unit of the Teeth Breaker, so the Awa Rattling Gun that can smoke bombs themselves and become invincible. Plague Priest with what? The regular spells. Oh, 2 Breath Attack actually, and the Vermintine Summon. It's not often that you see the Bound Breath Attack and another, but that might be a good way to deal with the infantry for the Greenskins. You have 2 units of Full Threat with Poison, really good utility unit, and as a lord, it's Ikit on his Doom Wheel. I mean, Terror is too good against Greenskins. They are loaded of his faction, and he has his spells are Warp Lightning and All-in Warp Gale. All-in Warp Gale maybe against Azak in the sky. I mean, that's the only reason.
I think that's just kind of the contingency plan. Like, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
And if you can warp gale Azag and then like just shooting out of the sky with the teeth breakers, that's a great combo, especially with the concealment bomb on the teeth breaker. Azag can come, think there is nothing that can really threaten him, and then beam, teeth breaker are really revealed, out him warp gale and he just dies. So I
Yep.
mean that's a powerful combo.
Absolutely. And their concealment bomb lasts for what? I'm trying to see here. 67
A minute?
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over a minute of just being hidden. That's quite awesome for the Teeth Breakers. And he's already popped it. I mean, maybe a bit prematurely, but I don't know. Guess
Yeah, sometimes the idea is just to pop it as soon as the battle starts so the enemy doesn't know it's there.
Yeah.
But the greenskins are taking their time to advance, so it might go. They might reappear before it's really clutch.
Yeah. I just realized I didn't go over the Greenskin army, so I'll do
I
that.
took a while. Sorry.
No, you did. You're fine. Oh god, goodness, this army is all mixed together. It's so hard to tell apart, but let's try our best. It looks like we have 3 units of Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Gonna have 2 units of the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers. We have 2 of my favorite units in the whole damn game still, which are Goblin Wolf Chariots, because they're just the most fun thing to use ever. Just awesome speed and a blast. We also have
And they're good against Skavens.
Yes, they are. Their mass can do just fine, and also their missile attacks do good leadership damage on top of units in combat. But and for the infantry, we have Savage Orc Biggins, which and Savage Orcs, so it looks like alternated. So 1, 2, 3 Savage Orcs. No, yeah. And we have some Orc Boys, and then, so 2 Orc Boys, Savage Orc Biggin. So an interesting front line. I thought it'd be mostly Savage Orcs, but yeah, the Poison Wind Mortars already shooting in, and I'm worried for this Greenskin army. The Poison Wind Mortars are going to have a lot of juicy targets to hit.
And the Black Claw Catapult.
Yeah.
Also. I mean, and that's the way you see like Skavens do so often. They send 1 unit of Skaven Slave and they summon another just to delay the enemy army, force them to blob up maybe a bit too much on these units, and then you just get yourself time, like sending 125 cost units into the enemy front line. And if they die, they will die quickly, but the 10 seconds you will gain from it might be enough. Also, oh, it was the little grenade of our friend Ikiklo. It does some good damage, magical damage, and also slows down. And oh god, oh that's so painful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful use of it, because like it like, you know, a Veil of Shadows or whatever, it is a vortex that pulls everybody into the center of it. I guess Pit of Shades is a better example. So throwing down that warp lightning on top of it when those units are all pulled together is just a brilliant play, and as you saw, it's
yeah.
crazy
However,
damage.
the Rat Ogres were a bit far away from their Poison Wind Mortars, and there was no support of max, and now they are getting charged by the Wolf Riders that will do some damage, but also stop them from firing for at least a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like they are stopping them from firing a bit. The Rat Ogres are inbound. I mean, the Poison Wind Mortars, I think their armor, surprisingly, like at 70, will be enough to help a lot against the Goblin Wolf Chariots, but yeah. Now we see the Teeth Breakers opening fire, though, shooting into some Trolls, and they're... I love watching them work. They get so much value so quickly.
Yeah. And I mean, but Grom is always so annoying to deal with as an almost enemy faction, and now, like even with Rat Ogre support, like Grom can just run around and he doesn't care, you know. Also, the Rat Ogres might be a bit out of position. Oh, they were dealing with 1 unit of Stone Troll. Well, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, and we do see some Savage Orc Biggins that had Here We Go popped on them, pushing in hard on the right flank. The Rat Ogres are running away from them, but I mean, balance of power squarely in favor of Skaven, but it does seem like the Greenskins are finally starting to pick up some momentum.
yeah, I mean, that's often the case when you have an army that has the range advantage. Of course, the army that has the range disadvantage will lose troops on the advance. Now the question is, will they be able to push through the enemy lines before they lose their momentum?
Yep. Ooh, Brain Burster
nice
going
explosion.
down. That was
Yeah.
painful.
And also a nice grenade from Ikitlo, slowing down the Savage Orc Beacons, giving time to the Rat Ogres to actually fight, to actually escape before they get massacred. And Warp Lightning, once again, nice there.
Just beautifully placed here on those Warp Lightnings from Romulan.
Yep. However, all the range units of the Skavens are dealt with, and I don't
Yep.
see them very much being able to come back. Maybe the Plague Cloak catapult, but even if they come back, will they be able to come back to their actual archery models? That's not sure at all.
No, I mean,
So
this engagement here with the Plague Priest and some Wolf Rats looked like it might have gone Skaven's way for a moment there as they got some of the Stone Trolls to rout, but the other ones are holding firm and the Shaman's involved. So, I mean, unless the Skaven can get a pretty big rout on these Stone Trolls sooner rather than later, I think this is going to go to the Greenskins.
I mean, you have Ikit. Ikit is perfectly healthy, and he causes terror. That could
true.
be the saving grace for the Stone Trolls. I mean, now that they have some Rat Ogres and a rear charge from some Hounds, they were close to routing, but now they're back.
Yeah, got some Clan Rat Spears in there too on top of them. They're still wavering. I mean, if Ikit got over here, they would tear up, but
They're
there it
broken.
goes.
Okay. Is there some Wolf Rats able to capitalize on it? Not really anyone close.
They just regrouped, so we'll see if the Wolf Rats, they're getting sent in to chase the Trolls immediately as soon as they regrouped.
That's the best target possible. I mean, Stone Trolls, they still have 9 out of their 12 models. So,
if these guys come back, Romulan's
some
gonna regret it. Sorry, continue.
And also, some Rat Ogres. You need the Rat Ogres to make sure that some Forest Goblin Spider Riders can't just kill your wolves on the way in. But yeah, I mean, this is a good route for Romuland.
Yeah, no, he's really capitalizing well here. And just keeping Ikit on top of these units. Like, one of them's routing, the other Stone Troll regrouped, but he's still chasing it, and I'm really liking what we're seeing here. I think Romulan very much understanding that these Stone Trolls cannot survive if he wants to win the game, because his two strongest things right now are going to be Ikit, the Rat Ogres, and the Plague Priest, and none of them really want to be fighting Stone Trolls.
Yeah, and also, Astolfo has 1 unit of Savage Orc and the other unit of Stone Trolls trying to stay away as much as possible, and they're gonna try to do a long turn to come back to the majority of their forces, because by themselves, they could get picked up. But RomulanDawg turning back, maybe a tiny mistake there, not capitalizing on the fact that these 2 units, quite, potent, were singled out. But he decides to go back for the big fight, actually. He thinks he has the forces to do it.
I mean, I don't doubt that he could win that fight, but it looks like he might be turning to face the Trolls. It's like, for me, it's like, he could win that fight, but can he win it quicker than the Stone Trolls will get to the fight? And that's where things are risky. And, there he goes, shattering them.
Shattered. I mean, now you don't have to care about it anymore, so that's really good.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup for the Skaven here. And now Wolf Rats are going to be attacking Orc Boys before they can get into combat here, and this is when things, look like they could go to the Skaven. The balance of power, once again, has just been kind of going back and forth in ways that I don't necessarily agree with, because, the Skaven are looking a lot stronger right now than they were.
But never underestimate Grom, okay? I've done that way too often, and at the end of the battle, you have Grom just riding around in his car and just killing everything. And I think Grom would beat Ikit in a one-on-one, so...
Yeah, with the regeneration, no doubt. But I think with the Rat Ogres that are still alive, Grom and the Plague Priest still being here, they can beat Grom. But absolutely, you can never underestimate him. He's a slippery bastard, and he's a tanky bastard, too.
Yeah, the Plague Priest being still alive is good, because he's great at cleaning down the remnants of the infantry. Then once the infantry is dealt with, you can go after the Orc Shaman maybe, and I mean you have to keep Grom for the end, because you can't kill him by himself anyway.
Yeah.
So finish everything else and hope you have enough. Oh,
Ooh,
I mean Ikit
hit.
doing some nice hits there.
Yeah, no, Ikit. Not messing around. And also, I mean, the advantage Ikit has is he has terror and Grom does not, so...
Yeah, and Ikit has support, so Grom is gonna go through and try to get back to his Savage Orc, because he doesn't want to be surrounded like he was.
Yep.
Another Warp Lightning. Great. The Warp Lightning has been
Oh man, his Warp Lightnings have been really on point this game. There goes the Terror Route on top of the Orc Shaman, but I mean... Going back to your point, this is how much the game values Grom, where it's like, he's pretty much by himself at this point, and he still has half the balance of power for him.
Brain Burst. No, it's a... Oh, okay. and the third grenade from Icket. I mean, he doesn't care about the Skaven slave spears. He just wants to get rid of all the remnants of the Greenskin army. And I mean, he takes care of 2 units of Savage Orcs. That's worth it, definitely.
Yep. And now they're going for the surround on top of Grom the Paunch. And that's going to be
They should be fine.
Yeah, I think this is a GG at this point. But, holy hell. A really good back and forth game. I thought the Greenskins had it there in the mid game.
Yeah, even though I'm gonna stay calm because I had a battle on Turin's King of the Hill where at the end I had 2 heroes and some Cav and some Summoners of Rage, and I still lost to Sigvold. So I'm gonna stay careful. Like some OP legendary lords are really scary.
This is true. Oh, Play Call Catapult's back online shooting at Stone Trolls who are coming in, and oh my god, they might be just enough to rout them. That's hilarious.
Yep.
There it goes.
Oh yeah, they shot at them. Okay, Grom, you can't do this, okay? You can't.
Well, and
if
now
you
he
do
does.
I'll be very sad.
He does
he
have.
can't even cycle charge.
Well, he does have Forest Goblin Spider Riders in combat with Skaven Slaves. Oh, they just shattered, so never mind. That's going to be a concession.
Oof.
I was going to say, technically, if he wants to run away right now, it's legal. But I hope he doesn't, because it seems like delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
But, great game. Duel between the Chariot Lords. Which one of them got more value? Gromit, 2,700. Icket at 2,200.
He did his part. Like, honestly, his Warp Lightnings and Grenades. I say grenades because I can't remember for the life of me the
Brass
name of
Orb.
the actual... Breath Orb. Thank you. They have been so good. I mean, that was honestly so impressive play with the Brass Orbs and Warp Light. Yeah. Warp
Yeah.
Lightning? Yeah.
I mean, the Rat Ogres, I mean, honestly, this Skaven army very much... I mean, both of the armies had a lot of mixed unit tactics on display. Unfortunately, the Goblin Wolf Chariots didn't do as much as I would have liked. Savage Orc Biggins really outperforming the other infantry. Absolutely love the Savage Orc
Okay,
Biggins
if
in
you
this
want
matchup.
to say something good about the Goblin Wolf Chariot is, yes, they didn't get value by themselves. However, they were the one getting to the Skaven backline and stopping the fire from the Skaven weapon teams that allowed like the weapons team to actually don't get much value. That was because of the sacrifice of these little goblins.
Yeah, and you also have to remember too, like they cause a lot of disruption to unit formation. When they go pouring through some cheap Skaven lines, they leave gaps in the lines, and it makes it even easier for the Greenskin infantry to win that afterwards. So, yeah, I completely agree with you. That sacrifice was noble, and ultimately that's like why I'm super happy they added this damage reading to the post-battle screen, but they really need to add other stats to try to show value.
Just look at that one unit with 81 killed of Wolfrat Poison. Look at the damage and the value on that one unit of Hound.
That is like over 3 times its value. It's beautiful.
Yeah, they really were carrying. I mean, they did more than 2 out of the 3 units of Rat Ogres combined. So great job by my little puppies. They're always there for me.
Shetland Apache asked, did Romulan bring enough chaff this time? And I would say,
he did.
Yeah, he had enough chaff. I don't dislike this army at all. I think this army's just fine. I'm trying to think what I think its weaknesses would be, and I would say, like, its biggest weakness would probably be, like, monsters. Like, if there's a lot of Brood Horrors and a Helped Abomination, they don't have a ton of firepower to shoot it down. And Savage Orcs aren't going to cut it, and I think even Stone Trolls and stuff against a Helped Abomination probably would go the Helped Abomination, but other than that, I mean, I think he had enough chaff. But what are your thoughts?
I think it was a... I mean, from Romulan's side, he definitely had enough chaff. I mean, 8 Skaven slaves plus 2 units of Clanrad Spears. I
just went over the wrong army for Romulan, didn't I?
Nobody noticed. I didn't say it.
You did a really
Nobody-
good. That was a really polite segue into like. By the way, Reed, that's the wrong army. But continue.
Yeah, I mean that was like 10 units of chaffs. The one question was about maybe that the teeth breakers. They look good. Everybody loves them. But once again, like if you look at the value, they brought nothing to the table. They were there, but you can't say like if the idea is to bring the enemy army to you, the Black Claw catapult and Poison Wind mortars do that perfectly. Now the question is like, what did the teeth breakers really do besides like being 1,300 too much value?
I mean, and
But
for me,
yeah.
that's yeah. I'm with you. I'm not a fan of that regiment of renown. I get it, and I get why people can use it and stuff, but it's just to me, it's not worth the extra cost. I think a regular rattling gun is just fine, and for me, it's like not worth having the concealment bombs for a kind of like I don't.
Personality.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
also like you're paying points for a chance at a one-hit wonder. You know, like yeah, maybe they don't know you have them, and maybe they get too close at one point, and maybe you get a warp lightning cannon on top of them. But it's like that only works once in the battle because your opponent's going to know they're there when they start shooting whatever's there. And I just don't know if it's worth the extra gold to kind of go for that.
Yeah.
Like I really hope they
But
make this mistake.
But the thing is, there is no point arguing with the people that like the teeth breakers because they are die-hard fans, and you can prove them all the way possible that they don't work most of the time. They'll be like, "Oh, but I did that battle, and without this breaker wrecking out 7,000 values, I would have lost." And I'm like, "Yes, yes, in that specific battle, they did do the job, and that's all that matters."